the other thing I want to do is go out and I was talking to, well, not talking, but corresponding on direct messages with Jen, and she said she would love to know like an upfront with each goat and what their name is, so she will sort of know a little bit more about the goat. So I'm gonna go out there and do that real quick. So show y'all. Some of you new guys that maybe haven't been with me from the beginning, maybe not know stories on the goats and different things. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do a individual. This is Bilbo, this is Frodo. I'm gonna do it all and give you a little bit of backstory on them. In a little bit. Okay, I want to show y'all something. So if y'all remember last year for Halloween, was it last year? Levi was Chef Louis. Nicolette made him a costume, a Chef Louis costume. This year, hold on, I'm gonna lay it across right here. Is that not adorable?
Am I adorable?
It is adorable. I tried it on him. Well, we tried it on. He tried it on, and then I sent Nicolette a picture of him in it so she could see. She was worried about the size. It's perfect on him. It's got the little hat, and there's paper all shoved up in it so it'll stay sticking up. And it's got an elastic underneath for his neck so it'll stay on. I don't think he needs the elastic. I thought the circumference of the top for his head was perfect. And then this little separate neck band ruffle that goes around the neck. It is just adorable. And then the neck ties around him, but it also ties for the ruffle, but the actual suit ties in the back and has some Velcro a little bit further down. It is adorable, so that he will be a clown for his fall party. Well, we don't call it Halloween party, we call it fall party. And then I want to show y'all something else. Let me get this up out of the way. So right here, this was, if y'all remember back when Mom was in the doctor's office for a visit, and so I was sitting in the when it was right before her operation on her hand, and Cynthia had made some bookmarks, so she's made a bunch for me to pass out to all the girls, and they are so pretty. I'm gonna pull some out real quick. Look at this. Let's sit one down. So there's this one with the pinks. This one with the yellow and the ribbon at the top. Levi, turn it down. This one is beautiful. This is purple. Mom would probably love this one. Mom is a purple girl. But there are so many. Look at this. Another purple with a little bit of blue. Levi, I said no. No, I said, give me a minute. This one, I love all I love the ones with the leaves in them. Like, there's so much detail because the leaf is still there. The stem and the leaf. Anyway, they are so pretty. And she gave me a list for the girls, and she actually gave me a few extras just in case she forgot somebody, or somebody that says they want one too. This one, so pretty. Anyway, Cynthia, thank you for those. And Nicolette, I've already told you, but this is just gorgeous to me. If a clown costume can be gorgeous, this is gorgeous. I love it, and he loved it. He wanted to keep looking at himself in that mirror right there. So, thank you so much. All right. Okay. I'm going to go out here with them. But this is Sam. This is Pippin. Pippin has the exact same mark on his face as Mary. Here's Mary, his sister. Look, exact same mark. Big and comes down to a line. Big and comes down to a line. Pippin and Mary and Sam. This is baby girl right here. She's a dairy goat. Frodo is right here. I'm going to go out. Bilbo is laying down, acts like he could really care less about standing up. You're not coming in. No, 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 no. If you want out here, you got to come out here. This is Frodo. Frodo was my very first baby. I think Frodo is 4, maybe. I'll have to look at their dates. Sam is the only sheep. He is a haired sheep. So he gets the stuff on his back like this, but that's about as thick as it gets. And Sam is not like goats. Maybe some sheeps are as much. Sam was in the house on a bottle, laid on the couch with Levi, did all those things these goats do. But Sam will very seldom just let you love on him. He is not like the goats in that way. This is Bilbo right here. This is Bilbo right here. And we'll get close to him. And Frodo, basically were raised in the house together. I don't know about that goat. That's a big one right there. That's a big old goat right there. Baby girl right here. Daddy brought her to me the day I brought home Molly. Molly was 7 days old when I brought her home right there. Daddy also pulled in right after I unloaded Molly. Daddy pulled in my driveway and gave me baby girl. So like I had a dairy cow and now I have a dairy goat. Although she has not come into heat that I know of since she's been here. So I'm not really for sure if maybe I don't know. Do not bother me. You're about like Molly is when I'm out here. I'm doing a video and I really don't want, what have you done here? Oh, it's just sweat line. I really don't want to deal with a big old horse right this minute. Really don't. All right, so if y'all can see, this is Bilbo. Poor Bilbo. Bilbo. Yes, Frodo. Bilbo. Bilbo. Bilbo, look at Mama. He's like that goat's annoying. That horse is annoying me. Listen to me. I'm doing a goat video. You are not a goat. No, you're not. You're not a goat. You're not. Gimli is over here by himself. He's up on the other ridge. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Gimli. Gimli has always been an outcast a little bit. Gimli, being the outcast, is kind of why I thought he would be good. I do not walk as fast as you. Please. I thought he would be a good match for putting in with Katie. Gimli! Gimli, baby! Over here. Gimli is blind in one eye. Gimli! He's answering me, but he's not coming. Gimli! Gimli, come on! Okay. I'm going to walk to him so I can get a good front picture face of him. I think I've got everybody's faces really good. And then I'll come back over here. Look at my pond. It's so low. Gimli? Gimli, I'm trying to do a video and I need your face, baby. Yes, I hear you. Because Gimli is blind in one eye, he tended to get picked on a lot when he first got here. And he's what? Don't run. You scare them when you run up on them. You scare them. He got picked on a little bit. He's about as bad as a goat. I'm out here, he's got to see what I'm doing. Gimli. Gimli. Here she comes. Gimli. There he is. Okay. Gimli was... Gimli came around the same time Sam came. They were basically kind of paired up together because Sam was different and Gimli was different. And all the goats, they knew it. So Frodo and Bilbo. Bilbo is laying back down again. I might need to check his feet. I don't know why he keeps laying down. And Frodo right here were my first two. Frodo was actually the first. Bilbo came a few days later. Both of them bottle babies. Frodo's mama abandoned him. She was not one of Dad's goats. She was one of Steph's goats from Annie. I do not know if Lester still has Annie or not. But that was Frodo's mother. She was a dwarf just like him, Nigerian dwarf. She had already had a couple of babies prior, at least one, maybe two, prior to Frodo, and she didn't take care of them. She would leave them. Let me sit right here. It's gonna be right in the sun. Hey, I got this chair. It's the chair I pulled out to get on Big Boy that day. I'll finish this video right here. Oh, it's hot too. Make sure there's no ants on it. Get over here in the shade. I'll just talk. Ooh, hot on my booty. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. So, Frodo right here was left by his mama. So I took him. And he lived in the house. He was, I managed, she didn't leave him, like, walked off and never approached him again. Yes, Emma. She would just leave him. She would come back and feed him when her, I guess, you know, when her little boobs would start hurting and she knew, she would come back and feed him. But then she would leave again, and there was nothing there to protect him. There was no protection. She didn't leave him hidden in the, you know, some cows will hide their babies, you know, in the tall grass. She didn't do that stuff with him. She just walked off. Yes, she would come back later. So praise God, we were able to watch and monitor and make sure that he was getting colostrum. And he was 1 week old when I went ahead and brought him home and started him on the bottle. So he had a week of colostrum. But man, I watched him around the clock. I probably watched him more than Steph did, because I'd already asked Steph, could I have him? Because I sort of kind of in my mind thought I wanted to have a couple little goats. My thought process was that I would just have one or two or three. So he was my baby. And then a few days after he was with me, even though he was about a week or so old, Daddy had a mama that, I don't know what her problem would have been, huh, Sam? But she didn't want Bilbo. So I'd already named him Frodo because of, you know, Lord of the Rings and dwarfs and stuff. Even though they're hobbits, he was smaller, so, you know, Frodo. But then I got Bilbo. So that's what I named him, Bilbo. Bilbo and Frodo were going to be, you know, brothers, basically, and that's all I was going to have. Until I was approached by Dad with Mary and Pippin. Oh my gosh. Please don't hit me with your big head. So Pippin was like the twin, Mary, ow, don't lick me with your, give me warning of that, with that rough tongue. Pippin, this is Mary right here. You can tell she's a little smaller. Compared to Gimli and Bilbo, she's even smaller than baby girl. And she's definitely smaller than her brother Pippin, which I don't know where Pippin is. He must be around the corner somewhere. But Daddy brought them to me in a 5-gallon bucket. They both looked identical. I showed you their little faces. But Mary was tiny. And when I say tiny, I mean like, he looked like, and they were just hours old when I got them. He looked like he was 2 weeks old, and she looked like she was born prematurely. That's how bad it was. And I fought for 2 days before she decided one morning she was gonna live, she was gonna eat, she was gonna be happy, and no more droppers. Because I had tried droppers, I had tried kitten bottles, everything, because she just had this tiny, I'm telling you, she was so tiny, her mouth was so tiny, everything about her was so tiny that I thought she couldn't get a good grasp on the nipple because it was too big for her mouth. Then I tried a kitten bottle. I have to keep looking back. I feel like Molly's going to come up on me like she does, and I'm going to get a horn in the back. Pippin was fine. He got up. He was happy. He bounced. He was all over the place. Taking his bottles like he was supposed to. Don't come up on me. No, ma'am. That's too fast and too hard, and forcing me into the corner, into the fence. She's, oh my girl. Pippin is on the other side of that tree. I just seen his head. But yeah, Mary was bad. It was scary with her. I even, the second day I had her, when she had just been getting like drips out of the, and I wasn't even for sure how much she was actually swallowing because it was coming out of her mouth. I took her back to Dad and I said, please, can you try? Because I don't think she's getting enough to, and Dad told me then, here she is right here. He said, Kim, she may not live. You just have to understand that. She may not make it. He goes, sometimes it happens, and there's no matter what we do, it just doesn't happen. And I had set my alarm for every 2 hours. I was feeding her every 2 hours with this dropper. It's hoping that she would get as much as I could drop into her mouth, that, just before sometimes she looked like I just choked her to death. And I thought, now she can't breathe because she's choking. It was scary, scary, scary. Second day of round the clock every 2 hours. That morning when I got up about 7, the alarm went off, walked down the hallway. She was standing on her own. Pippin was curled up in the back of the kennel asleep. She was standing. She got up evidently when I come down the hallway. I know that you want me to love you, but this video is not a Molly video today. This is a goat video. It's not about you. I know you can't understand that because it's always about you. Yeah, she was standing. I still really wasn't for sure if she was going to take a bottle. So by the time I came in, started making a bottle, by the time I got back into the living room, Pippin was standing beside her. And she tried to step over, the crates have that little lip. It's just a dog crate, kennel, or whatever you want to call them. Had the little lip. Pippin just blooped over it. She stood there sort of shaky and slowly making her way. He went ahead and started taking his bottle because I thought I'd get him out of the way, put him back in the kennel so I could feed her. And before he even finished, she had made her way out of the kennel, over to the couch where I was feeding him, and kept trying to put her face up to the nipple, like push him away so she could get it. And so at some point he let go, and I thought, well, let me just see. And sure enough, she snatched that nipple and never had a problem with her again. She got stronger and stronger from that day on. She's just not quite as big as the rest of them. And that's him over there. That's Pippin way over there, the fence. And here's Mary. Okay, then could you just be still? Then came Sam, I believe, was my next one. I got a call, actually. Somebody messaged me, because I think I've talked about this before, how I did Lester and Jamie's, well, it was just I'm a Survivor's back then. There was no other pages but I'm a Survivor. And I did I'm a Survivor emails and direct messages. And someone had messaged about a sheep, a baby sheep. Do not come up to me swinging. So, I knew that they had already told, every message, everything that I answered that I didn't know, I always, either put it to the side and asked about it, then came back, or either told them I would get in touch with them and find out. But, I already knew that they weren't taking any more animals. They were at capacity at the moment for animals. So I told her that, and I said, I'm so sorry, they are at capacity. And I said, if you feel comfortable, I said, I can try to help you. I said, I've got a couple of goats. I guess at the time by then I had 4. I said, I guess I could, he could live with the goats. My mind was on, I didn't know at the time that he was a haired sheep. And I thought, well, I knew that they had Annie, and I knew they had to shear her. So I thought, I guess, I don't know how they shear, but if I had to get Jamie and Lester over here to help me shear, I would. But when I got there that day that Mama rode with me, we got there, oh my gosh, he looked like a little deer. He still looks like a deer to me in a way. But when we got there, he was just this little tiny thing, just a couple of days old. His mama had abandoned him. She had twins, and she took one and went on and left him. So this is Sam right here. So he is a haired sheep. He's a black-bellied, now I'm going to lose my train of thought. He's a black-bellied something and a something else mix. I can't think right now because it's going right out of my head, but he is a haired sheep. So he does not ever get a full, thick wool that has to be sheared off of him. And then with Molly, just within a few days of getting Sam, stop it. I'm going to pop your mouth. Pop your nose, I mean. Just within a few days of getting Sam, Daddy called me and said that he had a goat that had babies. And I don't know if she had twins. But in Gimli's case, he had sort of been left to the side for the mama. He wasn't keeping up with her, blah, 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 because the turkey, Daddy had a turkey, had pecked his eye, one of his eyes, so he was blind in one eye. Therefore, he didn't keep up with Mama and the other little goat. And I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. So then came Gimli. So Gimli and Sam sort of came up together. So basically, it worked out really good that all of them sort of came up with a pal. Frodo and Bilbo was together. Merry and Pippin, brother and sister. Gimli and Sam, friends. And so that's all I had. And that's my little herd. And then when I brought, I want to say January, but sometimes when I say January, my mind says, nope, you're wrong, it's February. But when, I'll have to look back at I have all of their dates, their date of birth. I have their month. Some of them I have a month and a day because I know. Some of them I just have the month they were born, but I keep it all in a notebook. So the day that I brought her home, she was 7 days old. Daddy showed up with her. I mean, I literally had just gotten her out of the truck and put her in my barn, not the barn, but the side workshop, basically. I sort of like took some baby gates and made this like section of my workshop right at the door, this little yard for her, because it was freezing. In fact, the day I brought her home, it was freezing. And if y'all remember, any of you guys remember back, Daddy said she was either had pneumonia or was on the verge of it. So I brought her home sick and didn't know it. So she had antibiotics and all kinds of stuff, and here she is. But that same day, Daddy brought her home, and somebody on his bus knew that he had a farm. She was a show goat. She'd already been through 4-H and everything with the kids, and he said she lived in their dirt. There was no grass, just a dirt driveway. She was roped to the side of their, she had a rope around her neck, she had a collar on with a rope hooked to it, hooked and tied to their front porch. And she just had this little area that she roamed in, and they fed her hay and they fed her feed. She didn't have any grass. If she had ever had grass at once, she had already eaten it all down. And so, we thought, well, he thought, well, there goes a dairy goat and a dairy cow. I'm going to be set for dairy. But I do not believe she has ever, which I did tell Dad one time, I said, that goat won't gain no weight. I've wormed her. I've wormed her more often than I've wormed these other guys. I said, if she had worms, she never had runny poop. So I never really thought, but you do have to sort of like, I do it every 3 months. I worm them. Maybe some people do it every 4. Maybe some people do it every 6 months. I've read so much stuff about just like anti-worm. Don't worm them until one of the, a herd shows that they, have worms. But because if you if you give them too much wormer, they can be, their bodies learn to resist the meds. If you worm them too often, then you get all of a sudden where they're resistant to the meds. So it's, it's just sort of what you think is best. I do every 3 months. Sometimes I get a little bit behind and it's more closer to the 4-month range. But, yeah. Do we need to check your feet? Huh? He's so hateful. He looks like he's so hateful. They were such cute babies when they were little. So adorable, popping and bouncing around the house. Come on, Jensen. Just popping and jumping and hopping all around the house. But, there's the little chicks. I need to clean all this up out here. He just hit his horn inside of that. Oh, here she comes. I gotta get in. Oh, can't run fast with this knee. Ooh. It's too soon, Molly. Not right now. In a minute. Emily pulling up the rear. Oh. So that is the story of the goats, guys. So some of them were fine and perfect. It just had a mama that walked off and didn't want them for whatever reason. And some of them literally had something wrong with them that didn't allow them to like live with the other herd at the time and needed babying. And they got their babying from me. So I'm gonna go in, and there's that little lady that I've honestly have never had one. Mary took 2 days to get her healthy, and praise God she popped out of it. She came unhealthy, got healthy, then got sick, and has been kind of sickly ever since. So she may never. Jensen? I don't know where Jensen went. Oh, there he is. There's a possibility. All right, so now I'm back in the house, and I can tell y'all the dates of my babies. So, you know what? I'm just going to go down it. So, all of you guys, most of you guys have met Chia. Chia loves to hang out with Ellie. She thinks he's like the big kid. He's the kid that's always around because Chia, basically, I got her when Connor was 2. And she was basically Connor's little dog. Connor was with me, I mean, like 95% of the time when he was little like that. Buddy and Steph both worked full-time jobs. I had Caden every day and Connor until Caden started school. Then it was just me and Connor and Levi all day long. Well, once Levi graduated, but all day long until Connor started school. So Chia was kind of Connor's little dog. She was the family dog in this house, but she was just drawn to Connor because he was little. And once he started school, she kind of got lost. Like, where do I find a kid? She needed it so bad. And she found a kid in LA, you know, lays up in his house, gets up when he gets up, goes out when he goes out. Although I heard at some point that Megan didn't like her in the house. I don't know. Chia was not perfectly ever housebroken. She wasn't really good at being housebroken. But as long as I made sure that she went out several times a day and stuff. But she is very sneaky. Like, she will get under the bed covers and you might not know she's there. So I'd heard in some point that Megan didn't like her in the house, so I don't know. But Chia comes home about once or twice every couple of weeks and has a meal, has like a real meal with her special food, because she's supposed to have a special diet. And I don't think she's getting it down there. So she comes home and she has a good meal and she sleeps. She will sleep all day long on a bed over there in that corner by the playroom door. She'll just sleep. And sometimes even if she's still here at night and she hasn't gotten up, Levi's usually the first one down the hallway to go to bed, she's right behind him down there, and then there's one of her beds under the chair in my bedroom, and she sleeps. When Levi was on the floor, she always slept with him on the floor, but the beds are high. She can't jump up there by herself, so she still goes to the bedroom, but she sleeps in her own little bed on the floor. Anyway, she's cute. But Chia was born in June of 2014. And then Minky came along in September of 2020. Rohan came along in September of 2020. Frodo came in September 2020. And Bilbo came in September 2020. So all four of them came and lived. Frodo was the first. No, well, actually, that's not true. He was born on the 4th, but I didn't get in until a week later. So I had Rohan first before any of them. Rohan was September 9th, 2020. And then Frodo came and Bilbo came. And then Minky came on the 24th of 2020. And then, let's see, we had Gimli and Sam came in March and April of 2021. And then Pippin and Mary came in August of 2021. So out there when I said Mary and Pippin first, it was the other way around. Sam. So Frodo, Bilbo, then Sam, then Gimli. Yeah. Gimli came in April of 2021 and Sam was in March of 2021. And then Pippin and Mary in August of 2021. And then Molly will be 2 years old on January 21st. So. And then here's Jensen came along he was born in May of 2022. And I even have Smeagol here and Dissa. Smeagol in April 2024 and Dissa in July 2024. Anyway, that's our babies out there, guys. Only one that's out there that I don't have a date on. Well, I have Katie's date. Katie was February of 2024. So she's 8 months old. I don't have Big Boy's date of birth. So all I know about Big Boy is he is about 20 years old. And he looks good for 20. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to shut this out. That is, Jen, you're the one that asked. I may have had other people ask, but you direct messaged me when we were talking back and forth this morning, and you asked, so I'm telling you. And I'm going to try to do a screenshot of all their faces and put their names with them on this video when I upload it. So, yeah. All right, love you guys. God bless y'all. That's our baby goats. They're not babies no more. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.